Good afternoon, Kurt Capra here with your daily recap for this Friday, May 19th. Hope everybody had a great trading week and enjoyed the volatility that we got there at the later part of the week, specifically Wednesday through Friday. Wednesday things were looking like we were really going to be headed significantly lower, or at least back down towards the 233 level. You can see here after gapping down below or right to the bottom of this support area, we sold off real hard throughout the day. It was just a trend day lower in the S&P, and things felt real heavy. Same thing in the Qs and the Russell as well. But as you heard through Scott's morning calls and recaps, the follow-through just wasn't there. Yesterday we opened a little bit weak and rallied throughout the day, and then today, this morning, we opened with a gap higher, taking out yesterday's high and even pushing up throughout the day here today and going through Wednesday's high. So basically what happened on Wednesday is now completely dealt with. It's basically a non-event, if you will. It's almost as if it didn't happen. And in a sense, the only thing that really did happen this week was we came down to the bottom of this range at around 238 and a quarter, which is where things are sitting here right now. So all in all, it was an eventful week, but if we had to summarize it, it was a week where not much happened also, interestingly enough. So at this point, we'll see where things go from here. We are back into this range, but coming from below means that it's going to be resistance. So do we form some kind of lower high here and begin to tail off, or is this going to push right back up towards the 240 level, or continue pushing up towards the 240 level and really just completely erase the weakness that we had? And really quick, if we take a look at the weekly, what we've now got is this bottoming tail, which indicates that after that momentary weakness, buyers came right back in. So really just another visual way of seeing what we just took a look at on the daily chart there. Question now becomes, first reference point from a weekly chart here in terms of resistance is the prior high. So when we start next week, obviously we'll have a new candle. So this high of 240.67 becomes our reference point, first reference point of resistance. The low is the first reference point of support. So that's what you'll be paying attention to, again, from a weekly point of view. Looking at the daily, though, again here real quick, we'll have to just wait and see. I mean, see what happens over the weekend from a political standpoint, see if there's any developments to Trump and the Russia probe, etc. We'll have to just see. But there's definitely some turmoil or uncertainty that exists with regard to that as well. Taking a look at some individual sectors, oil was strong here once again, continuing to push higher, and at this point the question now is, will it have enough strength to push all the way back up towards the $11 area? And with oil strong, XLE also got a bit of a bump higher, still not yet above the major resistance levels that we discussed in the morning call earlier, but it did have a bit of demand there, and we'll see if it can continue to stabilize and recover. As far as the banks, they got a bit of a lift higher here too, taking out yesterday's high, which is a positive indication. Some of those individual names, you had JP Morgan, which, as you can see, pushed up but tailed off there towards the end of the day, leaving a bit of a topping tail. So we'll see if that has some follow through lower, or if buyers are stepping up come Monday. Goldman continues to be the laggard of the bank names, as it once again closed weak and another topping tail. So again, staying down here at these lows, if it breaks under, call it 213-ish, then it opens the door to much more selling pressure. So we'll definitely want to pay attention to that. Otherwise out there, I mean, Apple was a pretty quiet day for Apple, not much doing there. Facebook Facebook here also popped up following yesterday's strength, but right into that 150 area and resistance. So as I mentioned, coming up to that area from underneath, it was going to pose a bit of an issue. And not that it was rejected in any kind of major way, but it did stall out the advance. We came back in, so we'll see where that goes. But otherwise, as I said, it was an interesting week overall. Gold not doing much, having been options expiration, would have thought maybe a little bit more would have taken place, but wasn't the case. Probably overshadowed by everything else I had mentioned. So we'll see what plays out for next week. So until then, have a great afternoon. Enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you next week.